it says in the gospel, it's just a very short person. Jesus was well known, and he was going into the town Jericho, and he couldn't see him because everybody was higher, taller than him. So he saw a sycamore tree, that just leaned up, and he says, "I'll go up to the sycamore tree, and so I can see who he is. Who is this person that I've heard about, miracles, or all these things? I want to see him. I want to know him." That's the theme. That's the theme, the first theme of Pascha, of Easter, that we want to know, even though we know who the Lord is. But I want to know him more so, ever more so. I want to get closer to him. So for us, like Zacchaeus, climb the tree to see who the Lord is. That is us to look for. Lent is coming. I want to know him more about him. I will climb that tree. I will do whatever I have to do to get to know my God more than I do even now. All of us are in the progression of sanctity. Yes, sanctity. We are called to be holy, to come above what we are, and to be holy and to be in his name, the church. We are Orthodox Christians who know how to worship. Unfortunately, most of the Christians in the world, they don't know what worship is. It's Bible study and it's gospel and it's preaching and things like that. No, worship is number one. Worship is number one. To understand who God is, and I want to know more for myself because I want to get closer to my Lord. I want to get closer to my Lord. Zacchaeus, what a wonderful thing for him. He says, I want to see who he is. And Jesus already knows who he is. He said, he's going with the donkey, and he sees Zacchaeus, and Zacchaeus, I must come to your house. And he's amazed, and he's glad, and he brings him into his house, and he has lunch, dinner, whatever it was, he serves him food. And Jesus speaks to him with such authority, with such knowledge, with such understanding that Zacchaeus comes out. He was a hated tax collector, by the way. He was hated by all the people. A hated tax collector. Tax collector. He was a hated tax collector, and they were mourning when Jesus said, I must be in your house. And they complained about Jesus going to a tax collector's house. They didn't like it. They thought that was sinful. No. What did Jesus do? He saved Zacchaeus' soul. He saved his soul, for goodness sakes. The greatest gift, he saved his soul. Because Zacchaeus comes out of the house, he is so impressed by the Lord. Lord, whatever I have in the bank, I'm going to give half of it. I'm going to take half of it off. If I have $2 million, I'm going to take $1 million out, and I'm going to give it to the poor. I'm going to give it, and whatever is left. If I defrauded anybody at the tax table, if I took an extra $20, $100 from me, I'm going to give them 4 times what I took. If I took $100, I'm going to give them $400. That's what I'm going to do. By the way, in Leviticus, it says if you defraud somebody and you repent and you want to give them back threefold, three times as much. Zacchaeus comes out and says, I'm going to give him 4 times as much. That's how he perceived God. He climbed the sycamore tree and he saw the Lord for who he is. And he gave up the tax collector. He gave up that job, whatever it was, what you might call it. He gave it all up. Why? Because he knows who Christ is. He knew who he was. By the conversation and all that Zacchaeus said, I know you more than I ever know anything or anybody, and I want to be with you. And guess what? Zacchaeus was with Christ. He became a Christian. He was baptized. He went with Peter when Peter was making. As a matter of fact, I think he went to Rome with Peter when Peter was going and doing missionary work. He went to Antioch and then he went to Rome, and Zacchaeus was with him. And eventually, Zacchaeus became a bishop of the church. I believe he was bishop of Caesarea, and he became a bishop of the church. From the hated tax collector to the glorious saint of the church. Small in stature, a giant in the faith. That's what we should be. That's what we should strive for, to be giants in the faith. And forget about neighbors in a sense if they take you away from the Lord. Be who you want to be. Be a true, faithful, Orthodox Christian. And see who the Lord truly is. And may He bless you all.